Hello and good afternoon to everybody today. Thank you very much for joining our WebEx, which is going out live on LinkedIn. This is Made Smarter, and my name is Jonathan Richards. And today I'm joined by some esteemed colleagues from around the UK as we at Made Smarter celebrate the third National Manufacturing Day, where we celebrate all things to do with manufacturing. It's a national day. And it's a chance for us to profile and celebrate the success of manufacturing in the UK. As you know, there's probably a tour happening in a local manufacturing facility near you, where demonstrators and people will be giving you an opportunity to go and visit them, to talk to some of their apprentices and members of their staff about the opportunities that manufacturing has as a career. Also, if you're just curious as to what that facility close to you actually does, there's opportunities for you to go and visit and chat to the members of staff. So today I'm joined by three people who I'm going to ask to introduce themselves shortly. As I said, my name's Jonathan Richards. I'm the head of marketing and external relations for Made Smarter in the Northwest. Made Smarter is a national program that supports SME manufacturing businesses across the UK to develop digital transformation projects, skills and leadership, and grow their businesses successfully or in the manufacturing sector. It's here in the UK and abroad. On my right at the moment is Rose Sargent. Rose, can you give a little bit of an introduction to who you are and what you're about?
Yeah, hi, I'm Rose. I'm from Make UK. I work there as a policy advisor and I lead on our EPI policy. I've been at Make UK for a little over a year now, so this is my second National Manufacturing Day. And Make UK is a member organisation, so we represent manufacturing employers across the UK. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm also joined by Paul Mallison, who's the well, I'll let you introduce yourself, Paul. Sorry, I'm going to steal your thunder here.
Well, I'm Paul Mallinson. I'm Technical and Operations Director at Playdale Playgrounds. So we design and manufacture children's playground equipment.
Excellent. And Paul has been, and Playdale have been involved with Made Smarter here in the Northwest for a good number of years, and looking forward to your open day today, Paul. And also maybe to understand a little bit about how Playdale have worked with Made Smarter on some projects. I'm also joined by a colleague from the North East, Ryan Pinder. Ryan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. My name's Ryan. I'm ex-mesh operations manager and also head of continuous improvement at the Expanded Metal Company. We're based, as you say, in the northeast of Hartlepool. Yeah, company's been here since the late 1800s, so it's got a good heritage.
Fantastic. So a lot of experience from the manufacturing sector in terms of number of years here. But before we get into that, Rose, can you give us a bit more of a history and tell us a little bit more about the National Manufacturing Day itself?
Yeah, so I said it was my second National Manufacturing Day, but actually the event has been running for 3 years, so a little longer than I've been at Make UK. Basically, it's an opportunity for manufacturers to show off their work. You know, they open their doors to local communities, and hopefully what happens is we inspire the next generation of manufacturers. I think the really important thing for us about National Manufacturing Day is understanding and changing the perception of manufacturing. There's a number of people who believe that manufacturing is still quite like a heavy machinery, smoky factory kind of a sector. And actually what we're trying to get out there is that it's a very high-tech, modern, efficient, exciting kind of sector to be in. The likes of which produces Formula One cars. And what we want to do is make sure that manufacturers are able to show that to the public, and hopefully inspire a bunch of people in the meantime.
Fantastic. And I know you've only been with the National Manufacturing Day has only been going for a couple of years, but have you got any particular highlights from the couple of years that you've been involved that spring to mind?
So I went to a small biotech firm last year, and that was really interesting. So that was my first introduction to like one of our members, because it was one of the first big days that I'd done at Make UK. And I mean, aside from that, lots of places do huge tours of their facilities. I have to admit, I'm particularly looking forward to Lush, who's one of our members. They do bath bomb making for the whole public that you can just go in and do. But I mean, like, there's so much that we've got on offer. You can look at like virtual reality welding and robotics. There's 3D printing on offer to go and see how all of that happens. And lots of manufacturers will be doing their whole process, showing you from getting their materials in to the product that they create at the end of it. And I mean, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think when you break it down, there's opportunities for people to see at every stage of the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
From raw materials, as you say, coming into the door, right the way through to the product, leaving the facility, and manufacturing offers a huge opportunity for lots of different skills from lots of different people. At each different stage, whether you're a hands-on person who wants to go to physically touch product or physically make something, or whether you're more into the process, whether you want to manage the actual manufacturing process, or equally if you're into accounting or sales or more commercial, there's opportunities for you to help or to work in organizations that can be quite successful in terms of manufacturing products, and there's a whole range of products. You don't have to look around on your desk to see all the different products that are available, and some that you probably don't even know that are available have been touched by manufacturing. Paul, can I just bring you into the conversation if I can? If you can tell us a little bit more about what you guys are going to be doing from a National Manufacturing Day, and why it's important to your organisation to take part.
Yeah, so our doors are open for guided tours of our main production facilities, and it's an opportunity, like people have said, to come and see what we do. I think that's quite important to try and promote manufacturing, and it's quite a closed to the outer wider community. It's quite a closed environment. I think manufacturing. I think over the years manufacturing has got better at collaborating with other manufacturers, and the doors are often open to other manufacturing people. But outside that, in that wider community, it's an opportunity to come and see what we do and for us to promote what we do.
Absolutely, and again, your particular products, people who have kids will have probably come across your product. As they're out in the parks and things, maybe they've wondered where those products have actually come from, what's inspired the design. Give us a little bit of a flavour then in terms of the types of roles within your organisation that people could come and talk to you about on National Manufacturing Day. So it's not just about production. Are there some other things?
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, it's a really interesting product that we produce. We also design our own product with all sorts of processes involved, with different materials: timber, steel, high pressure laminates, ropes, assemblies. Huge array of materials and different skills to do that. So we have graphic designers, marketing, salespeople, business admin, designers, production staff, engineers, vast array of different skills that we need. And it's a great environment, enjoyable environment to work in.
Yeah, and Playdale as an organisation has been going a good number of years, hasn't it? I mean, could you just sort of allude to a little bit of, how many people you employ and where you're based and what your turnover is and things?
Yes, we're based in South Cumbria. We've got 100 people. We supply into the UK, but all over the world as well. So our product, designed and produced in South Cumbria, goes all over the world, and we're very proud of that.
Yeah, it's been a very successful journey from those early days at Playdale, and I suppose from somebody who's looking to try and get involved in manufacturing, and you don't have to be in the Cumbrian area. You could be there could be other businesses similar to Playdale close to you, but it's it can provide quite a worthwhile career over a long period of time. So lots to learn about there. Ryan, National Manufacturing Day in the Northeast. What's going to happen? What's going on in your business?
Yeah, so we also we've got a tour taking place, and it's inviting people in to come and see our facility. We've got some old machinery in our facility, over 60 years old, and we have some new machinery. The old machinery is still producing a good quality product today, and we've got new expander machines. We've got new guillotines. We've got our cobot welder. As Rose touched upon, the VR welder, we've actually got one of those, and we've used those at expos as well, which have been a great success. We actually had a competition, and that went down really well, and it gets people involved. People who've never tried welding and they only have a small idea. Using the VR headset's a really good tool to get them involved without actually touching the welding torch. So yeah, we've got that taking place. But yeah, we want people to see from start to finish the raw materials coming in. See, like I say, our old and new expander machines, and then also in the manufacturing side, what we turn our product into. So we turn our mesh into various products, whether that be rolled, welded, plasma cut, all those kind of things. We have our own tool room, so we make our own knives and maintain our own tools that go into our presses and expander machines. So we'll be taking people through that. And finally, in our fabrication department, like I said, the VR welding, but we also have our cobot welder in there. And recently, we've just purchased our first laser cutter. So yeah, lots to go through, and like you said, it's not just the manufacturing side. We have the design team who do our CAD drawings and everything like that, and yeah, it's a big wheel to go around. You've got your planning, your purchasing, and everybody's a vital part of it to keep the business going.
That's fascinating. I think it's interesting from you talk about welding. And maybe some people's perceptions on welding is what you see in with a guy with a mask on and a welding machine, and it's dirty, and it's a highly skilled process, but it's quite physical, for an individual. But you've just touched on something there in relation to a cobot. That's something that sounds quite robotic. I mean, is that what's that about?
Yeah, so a cobot is a collaborative robot, and it's basically a robotic arm with a. I mean, you can use cobots for a variety of purposes, but ours we use for welding, like you say. It's basically a robotic arm with a welding torch on the end of it. And to put in kind of simple terms, it's programmed using an iPad tablet style. And you just teach that robotic arm to go to a set, what's called a waypoint, and create the welds. So this is a really good tool to use when you're doing high volume repeat work, and you have hundreds of the same part to use. You set up that program once, and once it's set up, that's it. You save it. You don't need to do it again, and the cobot will weld that part in a fixed jig, just consistently and to a high quality.
So that sounds quite technical from that perspective. So there's obviously an opportunity then for individuals to explore a more sophisticated or technical way of manufacturing products there. I mean, is that the type of thing that makes it exciting to work in your organisation as a manufacturer, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, our cobots, went down really well with particularly with the guys on the shop floor to see it. It is an exciting thing to watch. You know, getting your first robotic arm in, but I think it's because of the nature of the program, and it's particularly with the younger generation, like you touched upon. Many people's kind of interpretation of welding as people masks down in a dirty environment. But when you bring in modern technology like a cobot in, and you're putting something familiar as a tablet and to program it, and then when you see the finished product, you know, the robot, and you have almost that sense of achievement that I've programmed that to do that. It's went down really well.
Fantastic, and I think we'll touch on maybe a little bit of about that particular tool in a minute. I just wanted to bring Paul into the conversation, if that's okay, Paul, and just for you to consider what the opportunities that Playdale can provide school leavers, graduates, and those looking potentially to reskill and get involved in manufacturing. So, I mean, as well as finding just generally about manufacturing with the open day, there's obviously opportunities, and you know, what does Playdale offer?
Yeah, so as I said before, we have a wide array of different roles within the business, even though it's 100 people. But yeah, we have apprenticeship schemes that we already have in place. So we're looking for apprentice on a yearly basis. We're often employing graduates around the design and engineering functions that we have. For existing staff, we have various upskilling examples of people undertaking role-specific development around level 2s, level 3s, level 4s, even level 5s, whether that's manufacturing courses, engineering courses, management leadership courses. So wider range of array of different skills that we need.
So that's interesting. So basically, then, if you don't have to have a degree to be to get involved in manufacturing. You can leave school. You can want to do something more hands-on, maybe, and you've got apprenticeship opportunities for individuals looking to get into manufacturing.
Yeah, we've quite often 17, 18-year-old people that are joining us, and if they perhaps join with an apprenticeship scheme in place, or we've even had people that have joined and then we've gone back and done level 2s, level 3s at a later date with them. So it's it is all about trying to get the right people with the right skills, but quite often the skills are learned here. You know, it's just finding people with the right attitude and the desire to learn and develop. And if we do that and we get the right individuals, you know, the skills come with the role. And quite often we need the support from third parties, you know, the local colleges and that sort of thing. But it's a mix of working with a third party, colleges, and the skills they learn here. Yeah,
and it's interesting you touched on the working with external partners, which brings me nicely into just talk briefly a little bit about Made Smarter, and maybe you could tell us what your organisation's involvement with Made Smarter was, and you know, what the sort of problem that you'd originally identified, and how Made Smarter came to work with you for some time to support on that problem, and maybe talk about the benefits and the result as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we got involved with Made Smarter from day one, and which is a few years ago now, and that started really with one of the digital consultants coming to have a look at our processes and do it was a really useful walk through the process and give their opinion on where the opportunities might be. So we found that really useful. I think, you know, it's fair to say that we had some quite good ideas ourselves on what those opportunities were, but to have an individual that specialises in that field and has seen what other businesses are doing to share those ideas, it definitely helped us crystallise our digitisation plan and our roadmap, and it also helped identify projects that we wanted to engage with Made Smarter on and get funding towards that. So we had a CNC machine that was a smart technology with a cloud-based real-time data and connectivity, which was one of the projects. We had 3D laser site scanners to help us scan a potential play area and develop a design within that. We developed a digital workflow around those scanners. We put sensors on some legacy equipment to manage to get real-time data. So we had 4 projects in all that we did with Made Smarter, and the 4th one was a student placement program, which was a really nice thing to do. We actually accessed the student through an Autodesk, a separate scheme, but it was funded for by the Made Smarter program. So that individual helped develop a digital workflow around playground design. And at the end of the placement, we offered him a full-time role, and he became a design engineer for us. So real success story.
That's fantastic, that Paul, and that's just for those watching today to learn a little bit more. Made Smarter, as we said, is we help organisations such as Playdale, SME manufacturing businesses, develop opportunities for digital transformation. And obviously Paul and his team had some ideas of a project that they wanted to work on, so we very much supported financially. There was some grant funding. There's also skills and leadership training that we can provide, as Paul's just alluded to, digital interns or an intern. So I think just from a stats point of view, with our digital interns, I think we've got over 40, well, we've supported over 75 digital interns since our program's been came about in the 2018. But of those 75, 44% have gone on to accept roles within organisations. So it's been very successful to help both organisations such as Paul, but also help individuals into the workplace. Ryan, I know we talked just very briefly about your cobot. It was almost like I'd picked on that particular area of technology because I know what the next bit might come. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with Made Smarter then and the program. You know, your challenges, the technology that we've supported on, and you know, what benefits did that bring to your organisation?
Yeah, so we got involved with Made Smarter. We had a challenge in our fabrication department. It was a good problem to have. Our customers were happy with our product and they were happy with our service. They wanted to give us more and more work, which is always great, obviously. We were finding recruitment a bit challenging at that time, particularly in that department. So yeah, at the time we were welding everything kind of traditional weld manually, and yeah, the customer wanted more, and we were finding it difficult to supply them. So we were looking for a solution, basically. As I mentioned earlier, you know, the welding of our repeat high running products. We wanted to bring in some form of automation, which is where we came up with the cobot solution with Made Smarter supporting us on that. Yeah, so we carried out some trials on some of the products that we were looking to make on there, and they were very successful, making a good quality product. Yeah, and the funding that we received off Made Smarter made that possible, and without that funding, yeah, we would have been in a much more difficult position. But it also gave us the opportunity to use our welders to upskill them almost. They were skilled welders. Let's use them on the more bespoke products, the things that need a little bit more technical input. And for all of our repeat products that were, to make it sound simple, putting parts in a jig and welding the same thing, you know, hundreds of times over, we were using the cobot form. We were putting our welders on the more, you know, the more challenging technical products.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. There is that bringing in new technology doesn't individuals in an organisation shouldn't fear that new technology's being introduced. It's actually there to help them develop into more, or to give them opportunities to develop more worthwhile careers within the manufacturing.
Yeah.
Because as you say, the repeat part of the production process in your organisation may well become less stimulating, or I won't say boring, but you know what I mean. It's less challenging for an individual over a period of time. So the cobot was a fantastic tool to introduce into your organisation. I believe it reduced your production time down significantly on repeat parts, and as you said, gave opportunities for other skilled individuals to become more skilled in other areas in an organisation, in your organisation. So fantastic project for you to see, hopefully, and to learn more about on the National Manufacturing Day. Just quickly, while we round off, I suppose it's a question to both yourself and Paul. Is that what sort of challenges do you see within the manufacturing industry, and how is Playdale and how is you, Ryan, at Expanded Metals preparing for those challenges? What are you thinking on that point?
I think it's quite a tough economic environment out there at the moment, and so that's obviously a challenge. So it's very competitive. You've got to be very good at what you do to thrive in that environment. And to me, it's all about attracting the right skills, really, the right individuals with the right attitudes, and making sure they've got the skills, or we're developing the skills that they need to be the best and compete with the rest of the world. And obviously things like funding help, and they do make projects happen. They perhaps make projects happen a lot quicker than they might have done if the funding wasn't there. So it's equally important, but I think it's very much about the people.
Yeah,
Ryan?
I mean, as Paul said, getting the right people in is absolutely key to keeping a business running, and getting youth into the business, people who are going to help the business grow, is key, and through apprenticeship schemes, and not just apprenticeship schemes, but similar to Paul, getting young people in, and then whether it be internal training or external training, upskilling them. But there's maybe a slight perception in manufacturing that it is a little bit kind of an old-fashioned kind of environment. But yeah, we doing things like I said, the VR headset's been a great success. We social media channels and things like that, which is familiar to young people, and we have close relationship with our colleges, and we have like almost an open door policy. If anybody wants to bring anybody in, we've even had family members come in, and we'll always facilitate and show people around. And I think with our product as well, it's such a niche product, with it being mesh. When people see it being made and they realise the process, and then it's one of those that once you've seen it, it's all over the world. People probably look at it and don't even realise it's there. But I think once they've been in and seen it, whether they're in Spain or Malaysia or anywhere, they think, yeah, there's a good chance that could have came from the Expanded Metal Company in Hartlepool. But yeah, it is challenging, but yeah, I think with the new technology coming in, that keeps people interested as well. Yeah.
Okay, so Rose, how do we get involved in Manufacturing Day for 2025?
So I think the best thing is to keep an eye out on our socials. We'll start, once we've set the date, we'll start promoting it. You can basically either get in touch with us, or we have a website where you can make a pledge. And as part of that, you get featured on our website on like a little interactive map. people can come and visit you. I think the thing that's really important about National Manufacturing Day is just that, like, for, you know, when we're talking about skills and recruitment, you can't be what you can't see. And if manufacturers don't open their doors, you know, it's difficult to, like Ryan said, to see the contribution of manufacturing to the UK. But, you know, over the last 3 years, you know, we have shifted perceptions significantly. I mean, 5-6 years ago, I think something like only 20% of parents would support their child in a career in manufacturing. We've doubled that. So, you know, and even more than that, say that they would be interested in their child having a career in manufacturing, depending on what they do. You know, a third of kids now understand what a career in manufacturing looks like, and that's, you know, still not enough, but, you know, they do understand the benefits. When we survey people, they know that it's a high skill, high growth sector, and that's really important. And something like over 90% think that manufacturing is going to be really important for future UK prosperity. So, you know, getting schools involved with National Manufacturing Day, I think the West Yorkshire Manufacturing Services, having something like 1,000 local students come to visit their hub. And, you know, it would be great if we could see even more people come and do this in 2025. You know, we've got about 150 manufacturers opening their doors now, so it would be great. It would be really, really fab to have even more come next year.
Absolutely. And again, for those people watching today, if you've been involved in the Made Smarter program, or actually if you're looking to get involved in the Made Smarter program, then you can reach out to us. But again, think about maybe next year, 2025, for National Manufacturing Day. Look at organisations similar to yourselves that have in your local communities that have responded to this year's National Manufacturing Day, and learn a little bit more on what's required for opening those doors and encouraging your local community to come and view what it is that you guys are doing. I suppose that on a rounding off point there, I think I'd just encourage people to reach out to manufacturers. Don't just wait for National Manufacturing Day. If you're really inspired by what you've seen on some of the TV programs or on the conversation that we've had today in relation to what you can get out of manufacturing, go knock on somebody's door, go ring up either Ryan or Paul or businesses like them and ask for a bit of a tour of the facility. Go and reach out and learn about what's being manufactured in your local community. And again, through colleges and schools, you can reach out and get supported from that perspective as well. I think we'd all agree that manufacturing is a great career to get involved in, and you know it's paid my mortgage for a long period of time. So I'm a great advocate for being involved in manufacturing and supporting manufacturing and engineering. I'd like to thank everybody, Paul, Ryan, and Rose, for contributing to today. It's been a great session. We look forward to next month's session from a Made Smarter LinkedIn perspective, so you can catch us in a month's time on our channel. Appreciate everybody's time, and look forward to you having a fantastic day today, and encouraging lots of people to learn more about manufacturing with your open day. Thanks.
Thanks.